This drill is set up on 7.5-inch spacing, which is currently the narrowest factory setting you can get for a manufactured drill. There are narrower ones on the market, but they're only available in Europe as far as I know. So 7.5-inch spacing is the narrowest. We want narrow spacing here in central Iowa because we have major competition in May and June with weeds. And so we want to make sure that the crop comes up and canopies fast so that it takes all the light away from the water hemp that everybody loves so much. And so narrow spacing is the key for here. Other places in the world will go a lot wider and they have really good results. So there's nothing wrong with a 10-inch drill. It's just in central Iowa and in most of the Midwest, a 10-inch drill is going to be too wide to help with weed control during the growing season. And so you may end up with serious weed problems right about harvest, and you really don't want to have to deal with that when you've done all the work the first time right. So narrow spacing is good, wider spacing can work, but you're going to have to fight it. I know guys that are putting in small grains with 15-inch spacing, and they're going and they're crisscrossing in order to try and close up that gap. It works kind of. It can work well, but it's a lot of extra work. I like my narrow spacing, it works well. I'm putting in oats right now. I've got them set to go in about 1.25 inches to 1.5 inches. And that's where I want them, given the soil conditions and the temperatures we have. That's about ideal. Oats can be planted deeper and they can be planted shallower. It all depends on the conditions. If, for example, we were still in a D2 drought here, we'd have to go 2 inches down just to find moisture. And I would plant them 2 inches down and they could still come up from there. Much farther than that, you're running a risk, but it is a larger seed. So there's some energy there to be able to come out of the ground. The clover cannot be buried because it is such a small seed, it just doesn't have the energy. Oats, again, prefer to be in that 1.25 inches, 1.75 inches, depending on the conditions. These conditions, again, are ideal, so I would say I'm right where I want to be on my depth. The spacing's good, I'm getting good coverage. My airbag system's working like it's supposed to, which again, anything mechanical can fail. I've had air leaks that drove me absolutely bonkers trying to find out which one was leaking, because when one goes down, they all go down. The spring drills, the ones that have spring down pressure, when one goes bad, it's the only one that goes bad. So they have some benefits to them, but then when you want to change, you have to change every single row for down pressure, and I don't like that. So I like this drill, it works good for me. Everyone has their favorite drill. None of them are the same drill.